Good evening. This is Lisa Lovestone, intuitive Reiki master, intuitive oracle card reader, and Reiki master, oracle card reader, animal whisperer, dowsing rod expert, and just an expert at the dealings of the heart and the soul and the mind and of the spiritual things. Cheers. Hot tea. It's very, very good. I took a shower. I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to take a shower before I jumped on here. It's been a weird couple of days. Today was a very weird day. Very weird. But it's almost over for me. So I was putting the cards away from my last reading because I leave them out and I look at them and I think about the cards that I read. I leave them out for a while. Sometimes longer than I really would want to because I'm not home all the time. So I was putting the cards away and a bunch of cards fell out of the deck. And I thought, let me just take a look at these cards. And they started speaking to me and I was like, okay, I guess this is my reading tonight. I was going to use a completely different deck than what I used the last time, but I'm using this same deck, Oracle of the Seven Energies. It's a fabulous deck. I love it. If you'll remember, I did an Oracle card reading for the month of April for all of us, you know, anybody, the collective, and we had body and soul, if you'll remember, and they were all about light, if you'll remember that, shining through, and the uncharted sea, which means, you know, the world is your oyster, basically. So those were our cards for the beginning of the month, along with some angel or oracle cards from the archangels. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So I'm going to read them, and I hope you can stick it out with me as I, you know, listen to the my spirit guides, and just be open. Try to hang in there till the end, because we know I'm not one of those fast people. I take my time. I want to make sure I've got it right. And I don't feel like a reading should be in a hurry. I know that we don't want to take up a lot of people's time, but some things are worth taking the time for. And I just feel so graced and blessed to understand my cards and to have a connection to my cards and to the reading and to the spirits who are saying, let's talk about this today. The people, this is the message the collective, the world needs to hear today. So it's worth taking the time. I hope you can hear me. I was going to use one of my mics, but I didn't plug any of them in, so they're not charged. You know, I'm never prepared. I do things off the, you know, the fly of the seat of my pants, or however we used to say that. All right, so let's get started. So the first card is a beautiful card, Waking of the Lion. And I think last time for the month of April, I talked about calling on the white light or being in the light, the golden light, the white light, And this is, in a sense, it's the golden light and the white light, right? So I think the white light is just like divine, right? And then I think the golden light is more of the light of Christ, the love of Christ, the golden light. But we're all one, so it's all of us. But if we were to separate ourselves, in an earthly way. So waking the lion. So you can't see the cards, so I'll just have them facing me. I just want this close enough that you can hear me. Waken the lion. So let's see. Okay, so today's Sunday. Today is Sunday, April the 26th. So as you know, Uranus has moved into a phase that it hasn't been in since the 40s. So this is a whole new chapter, a whole new beginning for us right now. Things are going to really start picking up momentum. Things are going to really start changing. The moon was halfway a couple nights ago, so we're going to be having a full moon pretty soon. And I think May has 2 full moons, so that means the second moon will be a blue moon. I believe so. So that would put, we're at the end of the month. Gosh, we're so close. Is the full moon going to be on May 1st? I don't know. Anyway, it's coming. But Uranus has moved. And so wherever Uranus is right now, I don't remember. I didn't study it enough yet, but I'm planning to. I've just been really busy, especially with the kitties. Somebody dropped off a kitten at my cat colony. And so I had to sit with this little kitten, mew, 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 waiting for somebody to respond. It was early this morning, waiting for somebody to respond so I could take the kitten to them and drop it off, because I can't have animals here. And sat in my car with this little mew, mew, mew. Oh my God. And what's hard is the longer I'm with it, the more attached I get to it and the more I fall in love with it, which makes it really hard. Anyway, so yeah, and just there's a few more cats I need to get trapped and get them neutered, or definitely one is a neuter. So just a lot, plus my pet sitting. But this is, I love this. Okay, let's just stop talking about me and let's see what this card has to say for us. Waking the lion. So already I'm just looking at it and I can tell you that intuitively that this is a time in your life. It is. This card did fall out purposefully because this card has everything to do with where Uranus is right now, the planet Uranus. So collectively, we need to stand firm, okay? Call on the golden light, call on the white light, either one, call on them both at the same time. Doesn't matter, okay? And embolden yourself, protect yourself, keep yourself grounded. It is so important to be grounded right now because I've already been facing it today, like attacks. Okay, so just be prepared, get grounded, get protected, call on your guardian angel. Your guardian angel needs your permission to protect you. Ask your guardian angel, please protect me. Okay, ask the archangels to intervene in your life. Please, archangels, intervene in my life. Help me Help me stay protected. Help me stay blessed. Help me to stay on my journey, on my path. Okay, waking the lion. So what I see is stand firm, stand in the light, stay grounded, stay firm, stay strong, have courage, have courage. Remember the girl on the ring, the ring, the Hobbit, the something of the ring, Lord of the Rings. The lady says, have courage, Mary, have courage. And I'm just feeling like that, remember that courage, the battle they were up against? We're going to need to call on that kind of courage from within, that very deep, deep part of ourselves that we all have. Never say you don't have the courage, because we are all one, okay? We all have the courage. It's there. It is there. Call on your courage. Be courageous. Stand firm. Do not allow yourself to be pushed aside. Be authentic. Be who you are. A lion doesn't walk around and pretend it's a bear. A lion walks in its glory, in its majesty, in its mostness, right? It is who it is. It is authentic. Be authentic. That is, being authentic is the highest form of giving praise, giving glory to the universe, to your God, whatever. Being authentic, being who you are. A lion does not walk around pretending to be a bear or a puppy or a kitten. It is a lion. However, kittens and lions, I mean, right? They're related. But anyway, you get the point. Be your authentic self. Okay? This is going to be a long reading. Hang on. Hang in there, you guys. Speak truth. No matter how uncomfortable it is. I have been speaking for over a year about speaking your truth, and take those tiny little steps of speaking your truth. And then when you start doing it, it gets easier and it gets easier. Stop being afraid. Speak your truth. There is a book I read years and years ago. It was circulating amongst many of the churches, Christian churches. It's called Hind's Feet in High Places. If you've ever read it, you know what I'm saying, right? Much afraid, right? Became glory and honor, right? She was no longer much afraid. You can no longer be much afraid. I have been giving you the signs, the warnings, the teachings. Be prepared. Be prepared. Speak truth. Stand firm for what you believe in. People are not being authentic. They're being people pleasers, and it's got to stop. You hurt yourself every time you're not authentic. Okay? Walk in your glory. Walk in your majesty. Walk in your blessings. Walk in your truth. Okay? Have courage. Have courage, Mary. Have courage. Okay? And just be, again, like the message at the beginning of the month. Walk in your light. Let your light shine. All right, let's see what the book has to say. 19. Boldness, the courage to move forward even without knowing the way. Okay. The beginning of the month. No compass. No compass. Just start moving. Just start moving forward. Without knowing the way, facing that which is difficult or painful. Yeah, I had to face something here recently. We won't talk about it today, but maybe in another video I'll touch on it. I had to be the bigger person a lot at my son's wedding. Not just regarding my son, but many, many different things that I was faced with. It's complicated. It'll take a whole hour to explain, I think. Okay. So boldness, the courage to move forward even without knowing the way, facing that which is difficult or painful, the audacity to step into the unknown. Have the audacity to step into the unknown. Blind faith. Trust. Trust yourself. Trust your higher power. Trust your guardian angel. Trust the universe. Regardless of the outer conditions right now, and boy, are there some outer conditions, right? You can't wait for fear to be less. You can't wait for your fear to be less, to be lesser. Before you move forward, you need to move forward right now in courage. In fact, despite the chaos and seemingly disarray, you must be bold. Whatever your trepidation, act as if you have deep trust that all will be well. It is well with my soul. Nothing is promised to you, but you will never truly see the magic if you don't take the risk. Come to the edge of certainty in your life and leap into the unknown. You have no guarantee of an immediate... Sorry. You have no guarantee of immediate success. Still, you must summon your bravery in the face of possible pain, failure, or even success, and own your power. The act of making this leap, no matter the final outcome, awakens the lion within. Be proud of who you are. Never walk in shame. Never be ashamed. Be proud of who you are and who you are becoming. No one can take this away from you. What type of courage is called for today? Only you know. And only you have the power to choose your path. Know that it takes just as much strength and bravery to love and be vulnerable as it does to confront a personal challenge or physical obstacle. So call on your strength and stand your ground, or consciously temper your emotional reactions. Do nothing. And trust in your partnership with the divine. Whatever your choice, you will not fail as long as you act with courage and integrity. That's very interesting. So call on your strength and stand your ground, or consciously temper your emotional reactions and do nothing. And trust in your partnership with the divine. Whatever choice you make, walk with courage and integrity. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. Okay. So that's that card, right? Awakening Genius. This card is beautiful. Awakening Genius. Isn't that just beautiful? Something about the elderly. And I'm getting there, right? So the wisdom is so sacred, is it not? The colors, the bright, beautiful colors. Awakening Genius. You know, I've had friends, and one that I'm very sad I'm not friends with anymore, who had so much ability, who were smarter than they allowed themselves to believe, who allowed themselves to be put down and could not be authentic, because that would be ruffling feathers or stepping on toes. They couldn't be authentic, also because they didn't think they could be loved for who they really are. And that would always make me really sad. And I have told so many friends, do you have any idea what capacity you have to give, to be useful in this world, to give, to help people learn? You could teach that. You're a good teacher. They don't want it. They want life easy and simple. They don't want to do anything outside of themselves. And it just really makes me sad, because they have so much potential. Anyway, maybe I'm doing the same thing. I don't know. I hope not. I'm trying to be my best self. All right, Awaken the Genius, 29. The spirit of creative expression, bringing forth new information, birthing, knowing that your ideas matter. So this is for this week. I already told you what day it is. So it's Sunday night. This is to help us get through this week. And I'm gonna try to do this more, okay? It helps me, and I know it's helping others. Even though you don't comment, I know that my videos is helping at least one person. And if that's all, that's great. Remember to be bold. The ancient Greeks believed, well, did I say the whole thing? Birthing, knowing that your ideas matter. Because we all have a bit of genius in us. We just need to find our niche, right? The ancient Greeks believed that each person had a specific genius that acted like a spirit guide, inspiring you with new ideas to further your evolution as an individual, as well as the evolution of all humanity. You could say that genius is the spirit of creative expression, and when you tune into it, amazing things happen. When your genius awakens, you realize you do not have to do everything yourself. You have an inspired, dedicated, wise helper on your side. Today, can you imagine cultivating a playful relationship with this extraordinary spirit? If you can, you'll recognize that you don't have to solve every problem with only the knowledge, memories, and experiences you already have accrued. Your intellect in this case serves as a channel for the spirit of genius, and it can filter in new information. How you forge this connection is to get out of your own way and simply allow it to work through you. The word genius comes from the Latin genere, meaning to bring forth or birth, and share the same root as the word generate. Is the wheel turning a little bit? Genius isn't just about being the smartest mathematician. Oh no. Genius is figuring out how to get the thread through the needle so easily. That's fucking genius, okay? Okay. When your genius awakens, you realize, well, hold on. You could say that genius is the spirit of creative expression, and when you tune into it, amazing things happen. When your genius awakens, you realize you do not have to do everything yourself. You have an inspired, dedicated, wise helper on your side. Today, can you imagine cultivating a playful relationship with this extraordinary spirit? If you can, you'll recognize that you don't have to solve every problem with only the knowledge, memories, and experiences you already have accrued. Your intellect in this case serves as a channel for this spirit of genius, and it can filter in new information. How you forge this connection is to get out of your own way and simply allow it to work through you. The word genius, okay, I already read that, blah, blah, blah. Same root word as generate. You are at this moment about to give birth to a new mode of expression, and a powerful one at that. Commit to partnering with your genius, and only deep satisfaction and success will result. Today is a day when your inspired ideas matter. We're all going to be useful from this moment on. Not that we weren't, but everyone is needed. Everybody needs to get on board with integrity, truthfulness, honesty, being your authentic self, authenticity, and courage. Okay, the next card, the Land Between. I've never seen this card. The Land Between. Being between worlds, learning to be okay while at the threshold of what was and what will be. A time of waiting and evolving. Gray areas, something essential yet still in development, metamorphosis. You're in a process of change. You know that you were called to it and can no longer be who you were. But you aren't sure what the next experience of your life will be. You are in between what was and what could be. In a pupil stage, like during the metamorphosis of the caterpillar into the butterfly. However, I'm thinking of my friend Jenny right now. She just talked about the caterpillar when we were out at the lake. During the metamorphosis of the caterpillar into the butterfly, however, you can't just skip the messy parts. You have to endure the unknown and uncomfortable as you reinvent yourself. The thing is, you're not quite there yet. You have one foot in the past, even if you're ready to shed that version of yourself and become something new. You must start redefining who you are in the context of your question. What do you believe is possible when you get to the next place? Can you explore this stage of your evolution to get to know yourself better? That might help you with your authenticity. The process in between worlds is where things get really interesting. You learn how to manage your fear, how to stay present in the now, in the moment, how to see in the dark. You absorb the lessons offered to you with grace because you can't go any faster. This is a real test of emotional fortitude, patience, trust, and humility. So we need to be proud like a lion, but always remain humble, if that makes sense. Once you have made this no man's land your home, it will be part of you. I would say I've made no man's land my home already. Then, whatever was set in motion comes to life. This is what you've been waiting for. When you look back, you will grow to love the place in between that for you is where you were reborn. The place in between. You will you will grow to love the place in between, for that is where you were reborn. Interesting. So you were reborn in the in-between places. I mean, yeah, I get it. I get it. You weren't here, you weren't there, you were in between. That place where you're exhausted from the experience, resting from the experience, then contemplating what you could learn from the experience, then embracing the lesson and saying, okay, I get it. That sucked, but I get it. And then being grateful for the experience and what you've learned. And that's the in-between place. What a pretty picture. I don't know if you can see that little, what would you call it, up there at the very tippy top. Pretty. Okay. Smoke and mirrors. This speaks really loudly to me, and I was thinking about smoke and mirrors, like with what's been going on at the White House and with the war and just all the politics. Even here in the city I'm living in, smoke and mirrors, man. People want you to believe this, and then when you're thinking about that, they're over here doing something else. Just be wise, people, be wise. Smoke and mirrors. Just be really patient and be in a space of love, unconditional love. So we're not judging anyone. We're not hating anyone, okay? And then just let what's happening happen. Let it play out. Because a month later, a day later, a year later, it almost isn't gonna matter because something new is going on. Don't let everything affect you so much, because a lot of shit is smoke and mirrors. Live your authentic best life. What are you supposed to be doing right now? Definitely not pouring a lot of energy into politics. Just know enough to know who to vote for. That's really all that's important. Let them play their fucking little game. You know what? If their little games don't take up all your energy, they'll probably stop playing. As long as they can suck the fucking life out of you, they're gonna do it. Stop letting them. Seeing through the lens of past conditioning, the inability to recognize the truth of what is being offered. Healing from misguided perceptions, moving beyond the illusion of separation, being accountable for your biases and the way you view the world. Give me just one little second. Just gonna... We're actually built to view the world inaccurately. I mean, does that make sense? We're in the flesh, and as long as we're in the flesh, right, we're going to have some ego, because that is a flesh thing. You can't get rid of your ego, because as long as you have skin on, to have an ego means you are human. So we're actually built to view the world inaccurately. Our 5 senses tell us we are separate from one another. The flesh does that. Makes us a separate entity, right? Jesus said it. We are one. He said it. He said it. He said it. We are one. And as long as you continue to separate everything, you're going to miss your opportunities in life. You're going to miss a lot of joy. Our 5 senses tell us we are separate from one another. We're conditioned to see time as linear. This creates a consciousness of delineation, separation, and finality. We have an innate fear that what we see is all there is. Although we know deep down there is more, we are suspicious of it. Our fear of death results from this kind of perception. The entire world is a construct of smoke and mirrors, and our job is to discover the truth that lies beyond the illusion. Discoveries as the frontiers of science align with what the ancients have known. At the atomic level, we are blinking lights and empty space. Consciousness is fundamental. Time can be bent, and we are eternal. Ask yourself if what you see is really just what you're looking for. So what you see, is that what you're looking for? Is that what you want? Right? Is that what you want it to be? Because it aligns with your, how you perceive things. It aligns with your beliefs. It aligns with what you want to happen. Right? So you're seeing things a certain way. Don't be a puppet. Don't be played. Don't give in to the game. Our job is to discover the truth that lies beyond this illusion. Discoveries at the frontiers of science align with what the ancients have always known. At the atomic level, we are blinking lights in empty space. Consciousness is fundamental. Time can be bent. We are eternal. Ask yourself if what you see is really just what you're looking for. What do you sense beyond your intellectual assessment of what is? Can you drop into your heart and soul and call for a vision, a feeling, an awareness of the true and the authentic? Every day Remind yourself that you are intrinsically connected to all that is life, and all is life. And we are all connected, like the mycelium, right? The trees and the mushrooms and the spores and the grass and the flowers, they're all connected, and they speak to one another, and they help each other grow. It's a network. Just be aware and be authentic. Every day, remind yourself that you are intrinsically connected to all of life. So what you do can either hurt me or make me better, because we're connected. We really need to be careful of what we think, say, and do, because it affects us. It affects our happiness, it affects our mood, it affects our life, and it affects everything. So, the universe needs you to learn about it. You have within you an extraordinary magic with which to co-create life beyond your wildest expectations. Today, trust the inner voice that reminds you that you truly will find what you seek and more, even if outer conditions appear to challenge that. It's all smoke and mirrors. Things are not exactly as they seem. I hope that gives you hope. A burst of magic. Are these cards not complementing each other? It's like it's a step, step, step. Turn the page of the same book. They all just fell out of my hand when I was picking up the deck. Isn't that just amazing? It's telling us a story, isn't it? Offering guidance and wisdom and teaching and giving us that little boost that we need. You can do it. A little direction without telling you what to do, right? A burst of magic. This card is so pretty. I love it. Again, we have all the twinkling lights and the beautiful colors, and I just keep feeling like I need to tell you, let your light shine. A burst of magic. We're almost done. An epiphany, a sudden higher knowledge, a sense that everything has a purpose, your purpose as a gift bestowed upon you, cultivating conscious contact with a higher power, coming to know what calls to you and lights you up. Sometimes you may find that something you've been pondering or a dilemma you'd let go of revisits you without warning. Excuse me. There's a bunch of pressure happening. It's probably the barometric pressure affecting me. Oh, sorry about that. It may hit you while you're thinking about nothing, or the trigger may be just the right words arising in a conversation, or from a book, or from a blog, or from a oracle card reading. An epiphany strikes like a lightning bolt, does it not? Waking you up to a truth that has previously eluded you. It's as if the whole world stops in that moment as you integrate the missing pieces of the puzzle you were meant to solve all along. This is such a time for you now. Answers are coming directly from Source and being downloaded into you with such force of conviction that you cannot ever be the same again. Everything's changing. You've got to go with it, man. You've got to go with it. This is for your highest and best good. Be grateful for this beautiful burst of magic. It is not an everyday gift. Inherent in this is the knowledge that your spirit is always listening to you. Spirit is your loving partner, reminding you that you are not alone. Even when it appears that you are trapped, you always have a key to unlock the solution if you cultivate the willingness to be open to and in tune with Source. The answers you seek come when you stop looking for them. Be mindful today when information pops up out of the blue. Pay attention. The action you need to take will become obvious as you integrate this magical wisdom. Regardless of the subject of your inquiry, you will be transformed. Only good will come of this. Only good will come of this. What a beautiful feeling of calm and safety, right? The universe has our back. We need to trust that. That was a beautiful reading, and for anyone who sees this reading, and it doesn't matter if you see it today or tomorrow or next week, when you see it, it's meant for you at that time. It's not just for this week, it's for this week, for me, and for anybody who needs it this week. But life is not linear. You might need this next week or next month or even next year. I don't know. Right? So, everything I do is for the collective because we are one. Everything is connected. I hope and pray that every one of you find your way, that you find your way, that you find your joy, that you find your peace. And the ways to do this is to be in nature as much as possible. Get your bare feet in the grass, hug the tree, look up at the sky, and just look at the cloud formations, or if your sky is just blue with no clouds, then just look at it anyway. Look around, you know, look over there, look over there. See what you see. Truly. Have the expectation and the wonder of having an understanding like you've never had. Okay? Be willing to be an empty vessel filled up with wisdom and knowledge and understanding. And go forth with peace and love in your heart. Do not be condemning. Be uplifting. Love yourself. Be authentic. Be your true self. If you don't know who you are, you will find out. Get on that path. Be courageous. Good night. Blessings, blessings, blessings. This is Lisa Lovestone, out.